Welcome into our Buckeye breakdown. She is Nicole Sheeran. I'm Adam King, taking a look back at that huge win over Minnesota. And by huge, 42-3 is pretty good. A 39-point win for the Buckeyes at night in the shoe. The atmosphere, electric. And the Ohio State offense delivered after the first quarter. I guess the last play of the first quarter, they did find the end zone.
Yes.
But again, another slow start for the Buckeyes. Yeah. If they ever find a way to start fast, look out, because they're dominating the last 3 quarters of the game.
No, absolutely. And I think, I'm glad you touch on that, because that is the one aspect of this game that I said, okay, they need to work on that, right? That needs to be something down the road that could cause them problems. But other than that, Julian Sayin, electric. This wide receiver room absolutely stacked, as we've seen all season. Carnell Tate with a game of his life tonight. But I want to touch on Julian Sayin first, because this is a rookie quarterback who has started only 5 games for the Buckeyes, and he looks like a veteran out there. He's so poised in the pocket. He's so cool, calm, and collected. He doesn't get nervous. He gives himself time to find the open guys downfield. And the deep balls tonight, absolutely unreal. I go back to the play. He's in the pocket. He sees Max Clare open downfield, and he takes the hit like no other. Doesn't matter. He doesn't care. What are you doing over there?
Keep going.
Oh, I didn't know what was happening over here. He was just absolutely electric. And I think a lot of the credit, of course, goes to the fact that he has guys like Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith who've got, sticky hands. They're absolutely insane. But credit to Julian Sayin. He's got the highest completion percentage, and rightfully so.
All right, so I went and got my phone because I put out a tweet.
You were really distracting me
I
over here.
apologize. I just wanted to read this verbatim because I put out a tweet. The Julian Sayin took that hit from a Minnesota linebacker right in his face, and he delivered a perfect pass to the tight end. It was a remarkable play. And I put out a tweet that says, this throw is ridiculous. To stand in the pocket and make that throw, it's beyond impressive. This is Julian Sayin's 5th start in college, and he's playing at a Heisman level. He's also shown tonight his deep ball is one of the best in America. I say that and read that because I got a text tonight that was outrageous. I got a text that was a silly tweet to put out. And I stand by that tweet. And if you're watching this and you don't agree with that, I don't know what more you want to see from a Heisman-level quarterback. Julian Sayin has looked remarkable in his first 5 games. He has looked poised. His ability to decision-make when the defense is collapsing on him. He doesn't make the silly throws that rookies make, which is beyond impressive because that's where you look for a young quarterback. I guarantee you, if you went to Ryan Day in the middle of the offseason and said, what's your worry bringing in one of these young guys, it would be in the biggest moments that they would make the throw that you would say, oh, we want it back. Yeah. He had one I could think of off the top of my head against Grambling. He knew it the moment it happened with the interception in the red zone. I am beyond impressed with Julian Sayin. And if you think that's saying too much, I don't know what more you could ask from that quarterback right now because he looks unbelievable. And yes, he has unbelievable talent around him, but I have seen a Buckeye football team that has unbelievable talent and hasn't been able to get them the ball.
Oh, yeah.
And it's been great to watch. We can talk about that talent. We can talk about Carnell Tate.
Oh, my goodness. That guy, immediately after this game, I thought about his game at Wrigley last year because this was the kind of game that Carnell Tate absolutely deserves. And I'm not surprised about the talent that he showed out there. This is a guy who has worked his butt off to get to where he is right now. And Ryan Day said it after the game. He's just glad that talent was on full display for everybody to see. 17 is a menace out there. That I think about that one toe tap grab that he had. Oh, my goodness. NFL level catch.
He got both toes down. That is an NFL catch.
That is an NFL catch. He's going to be a first rounder. I'm pumped to watch him in the NFL, but obviously we are not there yet. He is with the Buckeyes right now. But 17, I mean, props to you, dude.
It just feels good to see Carnell Tate have that kind of game. That's the kind of game we've been waiting since he got here. And I think back to when Carnell Tate was a freshman, and this expectation for him was to have a Jeremiah Smith-level career. That's how it always felt. Marvin Harrison Jr. would talk about him this way. Jackson Smith and Jigba would talk about him being on a different level. And so often, almost in an Emeka Egbuka kind of way, gets overlooked. Well, if you look at the NFL and how Emeka Egbuka is doing now, Carnell Tate is going to be very successful at the next level, but it's good to see him be here and get his moment in the spotlight. I mean, 150 yards in the first half. I mean, they were not even the first half of the second quarter. He had 150 yards, and what he adds to Julian Sayin in this offense is amazing. But then you still have Jeremiah Smith.
I was about to say, then you also have Jeremiah Smith, and I love that connection between Julian and Jeremiah Smith. I mean, Jeremiah Smith said it after the game that he's hoping he gets 2 or 3 more years with number 10. That 10-4 connection is real. Adam, you said it. October 4th.
It's October 4th.
It's October 4th, and of course you've got the 10-4 connection, but it's a beautiful thing to watch. You've got one option over here in Jeremiah Smith, the best wide receiver in the country. Then you've got Carnell Tate with some of the best hands in the country. And then you've got a guy like Brandon Inniss, and the line goes on, and you've got tight ends like Max Clare, and they're all over the place. It's just really fun to watch. And Julian Sayin, I know he just feels confident back there. He knows that he's got the guys to make the plays. He's just got to get him the ball, and he knows how to do that.
Max Clare's down there somewhere. Jeremiah's down there somewhere. Carnell is down there somewhere. All right. Offense, I really loved what we saw tonight.
Yeah.
I think the 42 points could have been more as well. I kind of love how they're doing this, by the way, with time of possession.
Yeah.
And they're not running down the field to score touchdowns. They don't need to. Obviously, they can win with 4 points because they only gave up 3 today. Let's talk about Matt Patricia. That is 25 points through 5 games. What level? I'm running out of things to say because they just keep showing up every week and dominating. What most impressed you this week?
Just the fact that they're not letting a team score a touchdown. I mean, it's pretty insane. And again, Adam, I want to give credit to you because you had said that this defense is going to be better than last year's defense. And I'm not going to lie, when you said that, I said, wow, that's a bold statement.
People got in the I read the comments, every single one of them, and they got in and they said, who is this guy? He knows nothing.
Well, considering, I mean, last year's defense was a huge reason why they won the
good.
national title. But it is truly remarkable how this defense has not allowed a single red zone touchdown all season. They're holding a team like Texas to just 1 score, and I still think they should have gotten the shutout against those guys. These teams are averaging 5 points a game against the Buckeyes. And we've talked before, I'm wondering when a team is going to find the end zone again against Ohio State. Yes, they are facing Illinois, top-ranked, top 25 team. They're probably going to move up. They took down Purdue. But Matt Patricia is remarkable, honestly.
I think what was most impressive about tonight's game, and you look at Washington, is I can pinpoint the defensive line being so dominant as a reason that they were able to be so successful. Caden Curry getting in there, the other Caden McDonald getting in there, allowed that game to just get out of hand. Tonight felt like an all-encompassing performance from the defense. The secondary was needed. They stepped up. After you get through that first script, that scripted drive from Minnesota, they went right down the field. Every team's going to do that. They work on that all week throughout practice. They have 10, 11, 12. When you look at Texas, they have a huge list of scripted plays that they come in with. And then they get to the actual football game. And when Matt Patricia gets to the actual football game, it is truly amazing to watch. This defense, the linebackers, Arvell Reese was in there yet again. I don't know how you stop him. There was a play that Jermaine Matthews made off the edge, and I think it perfectly encapsulates what makes Matt Patricia's defense so tough. They sent Jermaine Matthews, obviously dropped him out, and then they sent him on the blitz. And as a quarterback, if somebody's blitzing, your first thought is, I'm going to throw at the blitz because obviously that receiver is no longer being covered, and instead Matt Patricia covers the guy with blankets him with 4 different defenders, and that's the end of the drive for Minnesota. It's plays like that I just don't know what you do. You're almost taunting a quarterback at that point, making him make that throw, and then taking it away immediately.
I mean, it's NFL-style defense, and of course it is. It's Matt Patricia drawing up every play. But I think the main difference here between last season and this year, and we've talked about this, is that Matt Patricia is coaching to his players' strengths. And I think we really see that a lot out there, whether it's the way Sonny Styles plays, Arvell Reese, the way he's using Caleb Downs, the way he's using this defensive front. It is so incredibly obvious to me that each of those guys is so comfortable in that role. And they're tapping into their strengths. And I think a big thing, too, is once you get to those games where it's 4th and 1 and you have to get the stop, I'm standing here incredibly confident that this Ohio State defense is going to deliver out there.
They can't do it. Teams cannot get 1 yard on Ohio State. The only way, I thought about this today, Minnesota went for it on 4th and 1, and I thought the smartest thing Minnesota can do here is my least favorite thing in football. I hate when you have 4th and 1 and you go away from the line of scrimmage, or you pitch back, or you go to the outside. You are not going to get the yard against Ohio State up the middle. It's not going to happen, maybe 2 times out of 10. They're just that dominant. Their tackles have played remarkable this year, and they're getting better. When you look at someone like Edric Houston, who still has to take that next step, it's scary how much better this defense can get. They've started to incorporate Devin Sanchez a little bit more. Imagine where he'll be. We're only 5 games into the season. If they go to a national championship, that's 11 more games of rep for these guys. They can only get better. They can only get more experience in Matt Patricia's defense. I don't mean to call out Jim Knowles here. I know he's had a rough day already. But it took a while for Ohio State under Jim Knowles to get settled into that defense. I think a lot of people thought that would happen again here. It is not. 25 points through 5 games is it's
insane.
It's the most you could have ever imagined Matt Patricia being successful at Ohio State.
Yeah, and that's when you bring up Jim Knowles, and like you said, we're not trying to say anything bad or by any means.
I mean, they gave up 42 points today. We're not trying to say anything bad.
No.
42.
Not at all,
that's
not
a
at
lot
all.
of points.
But I think that is the main difference.
UCLA didn't have a win. I'm sorry,
0-4.
continue.
They were 0-4.
They were 0-4. I'm just stating facts. Don't get upset. These are just straight facts.
It's just facts, guys. But no, I mean, I think this talent has always been here. This talent with this defense has always been on this team, but it's being used in the way it needs to be used for us to then see it on the field. And that all goes back to Matt Patricia, and I think that's the main difference here.
Now they move to Illinois. It is not the one thing, and I almost give credit to Ryan Day here, because I have not had a single moment where Ohio State wins a game and I think, well, the next game is going to be a cakewalk. Because Ryan Day does such a good job. He gets in that press conference and he's like, these are the 18 things we did wrong. We have to get better or we're going to lose a game. And I loved tonight to hear Ryan Day say, we don't have to lose to make changes. That is something you so often see in college football is teams wait until the loss to circle what went wrong. And that's so infuriating when that happens because you could see it. You could see the train coming down the tracks. You're like, we've got to address this, got to address this, got to address this. You don't need everything to go wrong before you change that. Ryan has been great at that this year. With that said, I keep saying, like, Illinois is going to be a tough test. They're a top 25 team. But I don't know how this Illinois offense is going to go up against this Buckeye defense. I know it's going to be a tough game for the offense. It's a very good Illinois defense. It's hard to get that Indiana game out of your mind. Watching that, it's hard to think that this Ohio State team isn't going to be able to dominate Illinois.
Right. Well, it's hard to think about that.
And maybe not dominate, but handle Illinois.
No, absolutely handle. And then, I mean, I even think about today, Purdue put up, 25 points against Illinois? And that's nothing against Purdue. I'm just saying it.
It sounds like it's something against Purdue.
It's not.
Okay.
It's not Purdue. I'm talking to you.
You think we have a Boilermaker fan watching?
Maybe. And if you are, thanks for watching.
Thank you for your viewership.
But no, I mean, I love Ryan Day's attitude. That's what you want from a head coach. And it's impressive when it comes with the #1 team in the country. You would think, man, the defending national champions, they're going to come in, think they're on the top. We don't need to work on anything. No. Ryan Day always says, stay hungry every Saturday. The hungriest, most desperate team is going to win every Saturday. And that is exactly how they are approaching every weekend.
They won 42-3, and I thought that you would have thought they lost the football game. I mean, he's very good at congratulating the team, but I love how he's so quick to say we needed that play from Lincoln Kienholz when Kienholz didn't take the A-gap. He was absolutely livid, and that's what you want to see. That's how you win a national title, and that's how you try to go back-to-back. She is Nicole Sharon. I'm Adam King. Thank you for watching. You can keep it on 10 TV, 10 TV Plus, and 97.1 The Fan for all your Buckeye coverage.